A bubble tea kiosk may be the only business where customers willingly pay $7 for a drink and then spend the next 20 minutes chewing it. From the outside, the economics look almost suspiciously good. There is no dining room, no waitstaff, no giant kitchen, and no customer occupying a table for 3 hours while working on a screenplay. You combine tea, milk, syrup, ice, and tapioca pearls, seal the cup, and collect a price that can be several times the ingredient cost. Then you become the owner and discover that the pearls are not the only things under pressure. A bubble tea kiosk is a tiny space forced to operate like a full restaurant. It brews tea, cooks pearls, refrigerates milk, manages custom orders, passes health inspections, and serves an afternoon rush from a workspace sometimes smaller than a bedroom. The kiosk saves money on seats and square footage, but when the operation collapses, the entire mall gets a front row seat. Before talking about profit, you need to choose the model. An independent counter inside a supermarket or food hall may cost roughly $60,000 to $120,000 if utilities and food service approvals already exist. A custom mall kiosk can push the total toward $100,000 to $200,000 because cabinetry, plumbing, signs, refrigeration, and mall-approved design are expensive even in a few hundred square feet. A franchise is the third option. It gives you recipes, training, suppliers, branding, and a name customers may already recognize. It also gives you fees, royalties, mandatory vendors, and a manual explaining exactly how many grams of tapioca belong in every cup. Gongcha currently estimates total U.S. investment for a single unit at about $207,000 to $648,000, while its international franchise information says small kiosk formats can begin around $100,000, depending on location and market. Kiosk can therefore mean a compact counter or almost a complete store wearing a smaller hat. For an independent kiosk, counters, sinks, plumbing, electrical work, and signs might cost $35,000 to $70,000. Equipment can add $20,000 to $45,000 for brewers, refrigeration, blenders, an ice machine, filtration, cookers, a point-of-sale system, and the cup sealer that stops customers from covering themselves in taro milk. In this industry, that machine is basically aerospace technology. Add permits, insurance, deposits, inventory, marketing, and working capital. A safer cash reserve is often $30,000 to $60,000, pushing a realistic independent opening budget toward $120,000 to $220,000. The good news is that the drink level economics are strong. A bubble tea selling for $6.50 to $8 may contain around $1.50 to $2.25 in tea, milk, sweetener, tapioca or another topping, cup, film, straw, ice, and normal waste. Sell it for $7.25, and the product gross margin appears to be around 70 to 80%. That sounds wonderful, and it is how people accidentally open food businesses without understanding gross margin. The drink is paid for ingredients, not labor, rent, electricity, card fees, or the accountant explaining why the kiosk is busy and the bank account is not. Labor is usually the largest controllable expense. U.S. food and beverage serving workers earned a median of about $14.92 per hour in May 2024, while BLS industry data places the 2025 median for combined preparation and serving workers near $14.80. Actual hiring wages in many cities are higher. After payroll taxes, workers' compensation, training, and scheduling inefficiency, a worker advertised at $16 per hour may cost the business closer to $19 or $21. A kiosk may need 2 people during quiet hours and 3 or 4 during the rush. During the worst 15 minutes, everybody performs every job while pretending the receipt printer is not making that sound. Labor can consume 25 to 35% of revenue. The second major cost is occupancy. A kiosk uses little space, but it often sits on some of the most expensive floor in the building. Mall corridors, airports, college centers, and food halls charge for traffic, not just square footage. Current U.S. market guides place many mall kiosks around $2,000 to $10,000 per month, with premium properties going higher. The agreement may also include common area fees, storage rent, mall marketing charges, and percentage rent after sales cross a threshold. This is the central bet. A $3,000 location with weak traffic can be more expensive than a $7,000 location with a permanent line. Cheap rent cannot rescue a kiosk nobody sees. Once occupancy rises much beyond roughly 10 to 15% of sales, however, the business loses room for slow weeks and mistakes. Unlike coffee, bubble tea often wakes up after school, after work, and on weekends. A college kiosk may be empty at 10 a.m. and overwhelmed at 4:30 p.m. You pay rent all day while revenue arrives in a few violent waves. You cannot keep 4 employees waiting for teenagers to finish class, but schedule only 2, and a group arrives ordering 12 customized drinks. The menu stops being a menu and becomes a chemistry exam administered by people wearing backpacks. Extra toppings can add 50 cents to $1 and 25 cents with little product cost, but every option slows production and increases errors. One forgotten topping can mean remaking the whole drink during the rush. Tapioca creates another trap because cooked pearls do not remain perfect forever. Make too little and you run out during the rush. Make too much and the leftovers become waste. Brewed tea, fruit, milk, cream foam, and prepared toppings all have their own shelf lives. Strong operators forecast demand in small time blocks and prepare in batches. Weak operators cook by instinct, which is a polite way of saying the trash can receives a free catering order every night. Card processing can quietly consume around 2.5 to 3.5% of in-person revenue. On a $7 transaction, even a 15-cent fixed fee is more than 2% before the percentage charge is added. Delivery adds another layer. DoorDash currently lists U.S. marketplace commissions of 15%, 25%, or 30% on delivery orders, depending on the plan. On a $20 order, the platform may take $3 to $6 before ingredients, labor, packaging, discounts, or refunds. Higher app prices help, but delivery damages quality. Ice melts, foam collapses, and pearls harden. A perfect drink can arrive looking like a science experiment that lost its funding. So what can a good kiosk earn? Imagine an independent location selling 180 drinks per day at an average ticket of $7.50. That is $1,350 in daily sales and approximately $492,000 per year if open every day. Add snacks or merchandise and call annual revenue $500,000. At 28% cost of goods, ingredients and packaging take $140,000. Labor at 30% takes $150,000. Rent and occupancy at 12% take $60,000. Payment fees take about $15,000. Utilities, insurance, software, repairs, cleaning, marketing, accounting, and permits consume another $70,000. The result is roughly $65,000 in operating profit before debt payments, taxes, and any separate salary paid to the owner. That is a respectable 13% margin, but it depends on maintaining 180 daily transactions. Drop to 130 drinks, and annual sales fall by more than $136,000. Rent barely changes. The ice machine continues making ice with the confidence of a government agency. Labor can be reduced only so far before service falls apart. A healthy kiosk can move toward break-even surprisingly quickly. Break even may sit around 125 to 145 drinks per day. Below that, the owner has purchased a demanding job with a commercial blender. Above 200, the same rent, equipment, and systems support more sales without costs rising as quickly. Successful kiosks therefore obsess over throughput. The real product is the ability to produce a correct cup every 60 to 90 seconds. Ingredients must be positioned by frequency of use, pearls ready before the rush, and mobile orders separated. One wasted movement repeated 200 times becomes payroll. Franchises can improve this system through training, recipes, purchasing, and brand recognition, but royalties often take roughly 4 to 6% of sales before the owner earns profit. Add marketing contributions, and a $500,000 kiosk may send $25,000 to $40,000 back to the franchisor each year. The franchise only wins if the name and system create enough extra revenue to cover that permanent slice. There is also trend risk. Brown sugar milk tea can dominate one year, followed by matcha, fruit tea, cheese foam, or a drink containing pudding, aloe, popping pearls, and enough ingredients to qualify as a small aquarium. The kiosk must evolve without turning its menu into an encyclopedia that destroys speed and inventory control. The strongest owners keep a focused menu, rotate seasonal products, price toppings correctly, and build loyalty. Customers may visit several times a week, but only if the drink stays consistent. People may forgive a line. They will not forgive waiting 15 minutes for something that tastes different from yesterday. So, is a bubble tea kiosk a good business? It can be. It needs less space, fewer employees, and usually less construction than a full cafe, while a strong location can generate several $100,000 a year. But cheap ingredients do not make the business easy. The expensive part is everything surrounding the cup: rent, labor, speed, waste, fees, customer traffic, and the requirement to deliver the same result hundreds of times without the line collapsing. From the customer's side, bubble tea is a colorful drink with a wide straw. From the owner's side, it is a miniature factory, a retail lease, a food service operation, and a mathematical bet on how many Americans will pay $7 to chew their beverage. If the answer is at least 150 people a day, the numbers can work beautifully. If the answer is 60, you may end up drinking the remaining inventory yourself, which is not technically profit, no matter how many loyalty points you award yourself.